epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. Indian politics has been hit by a major shockwave after a Surat court found Rahul Gandhi, Congress MP, guilty of defamation in a 2019 case, where he said that all those with the surname Modi are thieves. The Congress MP made the statement while addressing a rally in Karnataka ahead of the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, targeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, actually saying that fugitives like Nirav Modi and Lalit Modi are actually having the same surname. The case was filed against Rahul Gandhi by a BJP MLA and former Gujarat Minister Purnesh Modi. Rahul Gandhi is currently out on bail and has 30 days to appeal. The Congress has questioned the court order, calling the charges fake, adding that the conviction will be challenged soon. Many opposition leaders have rallied behind the Congress MP, calling the defamation case another bid to muzzle dissent. Now, as per the law, if the verdict is not cancelled by any higher court, Rahul Gandhi may face disqualification as an MP and won't be allowed to contest elections for the next 8 years. Remember, the 2024 fight is around the corner. Congress workers have also hit the streets across the nation, accusing the central government of vendetta and a bid to intimidate the opposition by attacking free speech. But the BJP has rained fire on the Congress Neta, saying the rule of law has prevailed and Rahul Gandhi is paying the price for his irresponsible statements. As disqualification looms over Rahul Gandhi, what is the political impact on the road to 2024?
एक छोटा सा सवाल, इन सब के नाम, इन सब चोरों के नाम मोदी 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 कैसे हैं? नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नरेंद्र मोदी, और अभी थोड़ा ढूंढेंगे तो और बहुत सारे मोदी निकलेंगे.
There is going to be a very animated discussion with regard to the larger implications of this order on free speech.
इस भय से अगर वो सोचते हैं कि किसी रूप से जनहित के मुद्दों को उठाने में कांग्रेस हिचकेगी या राहुल गांधी हिचकेंगे, तो ये गलत धारणा है.
राहुल जी को इस सच्चाई को स्वीकार करना चाहिए कि शब्दों की चोट शस्त्रों की चोट से ज्यादा गहरी और पीड़ादायी होती है.
He should come out of this dynastic mindset and realize that no individual is bigger than the country.
First, Pallavi Ghosh is joining us live. So, Pallavi, what exactly is the thinking going on within the Congress camp?
Well, I mean, frankly speaking, when the news first came out, Maria, there was a sense of shock within the Congress party and also apprehension, because certainly they wouldn't want a situation where Rahul Gandhi cannot get to contest from Wayanad or any election for that matter, and he loses his MP-ship. But I think, like most politicians do, they realize that this is something they would want to use to their advantage, build up the sympathy card, and also make the point that unlike most other opposition party leaders who have compromised, to use the words of the Congress party is the only one which actually keeps on asking these questions of the BJP, and therefore they also have to face this kind of an action. So I think the Congress's strategy and the electoral slogan for 2024 seems to have been firmed up, and that electoral slogan is very simple: vote for Congress, vote for truth, and vote for real freedom. So you will watch this over the next couple of days. We saw that already today. Congress out on the streets, protesting about it, and a show of strength for Rahul Gandhi.
Pallavi, before I let you go, I want to understand from you, which are the parties standing with the Congress on this issue?
Well, at the airport, you certainly saw Congress. You also saw DMK, which I would say is very, very interesting. But also outside, when the news just broke, interestingly, one of the first political parties which came out in support was the Aam Aadmi Party, condemning this kind of a decision which has been taken, and also asking the question that why is it that Rahul Gandhi has been convicted for something which he said during an election rally. But I think the countdown begins from here. Whether that big opportunity for real opposition unity, unlikely partners coming together, will actually begin with this conviction of Rahul Gandhi.
All right, Pallavi Ghosh, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. What does this mean for Indian politics, and what are the options before Rahul Gandhi? Let me take these two questions to the panelists who are joining me now. Vikas Singh, President of Supreme Court Bar Association, Aprajita Sarangi, Member of Parliament of the BJP. We also have Ashpreet Kardial, Congress spokesperson, Hitesh Jain, lawyer, and Kirit Panwala, Rahul Gandhi's lawyer, will be joining us, and R. Rajagopalan. But before everybody, a question to Vikas Singh. What are the legal options before Rahul Gandhi? Vikas Singh.
So Rahul definitely will have to file an appeal, and he will have to get a suspension of the sentence because without the suspension of the sentence, he'll have to be taken into custody. And as far as the disqualification is concerned, if you ask me, the section has, to be honest, not come up for interpretation directly in Supreme Court on whether it will be 2 years and above or it will be above 2 years. But in my view, I mean, this is my very personal view, that the way the section is worded, if 2 years sentence will not incur disqualification. Only a sentence of more than 2 years will incur a disqualification. So if he does not incur a disqualification, then obviously he doesn't need the conviction to be stayed. Because if he incurs a disqualification, then he will require not only suspension of sentence, but he will also require a order staying the conviction itself. Now, that is something which is very rare in criminal jurisprudence, and that is only granted in very, very deserving cases in matters where such disqualification issue comes up. So,
Because has it ever happened that a defamation suit has led to disqualification? I mean, conviction in a defamation suit.
Well, to be honest, conviction in a defamation suit probably has not happened and the conviction, wherever if it has happened also, it is 6 months or 1 year. So a 2-year sentence, I think, is unprecedented. This has happened for the first time. This is the maximum sentence that can be awarded for defamation. And unfortunately, a 2-year sentence, in one case, I believe there was a case which was exactly 2-year sentence and it was held to be a disqualification. But that disqualification was implemented without anybody questioning whether the section 8.3 means above 2 years or 2 years and above. So that according to me, is a interpretation still open for consideration, and Rahul Gandhi can take it to its logical end and say that this disqualification does not happen for a simpliciter 2-year sentence. It can only happen if it is a sentence of more than 2 years.
Last question to you, Vikas Singh. What are the legal grounds on which Rahul Gandhi can defend himself?
So legal ground, of course, will be his right to free speech, because ultimately in a country like ours, where fundamental right guarantees you free speech, whatever you may say, whether it is defamation or not, will have the criminal intent or the intent in that defamation will have to be seen. So I think it's a good legal case to argue whether this kind of a statement can be said to be defamation or not. And normally courts rely on free speech more rather than curbing free speech by putting a sentence of defamation. And if that larger perspective is to be seen, then according to me, he has a good case in appeal, and this order can be set aside.
All right, Vikas Singh, thank you so much. Let me bring in my panelists and go straight to Ashpreet Kardial. Ashpreet, this is a court ruling. Can you still claim vendetta?
Vendetta is definitely there. However, in a different context. You see, the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders have been uttering words like Dayan, Saddam, Pappu, and रेनकोट पहन के कैसे नहाना चाहिए मनमोहन सिंह साहब को बड़े अच्छे से आता है, and many more things which I cannot even speak here on the debate because the magnitude of those words is such. So has any Bharatiya Janata Party's leader been booked for that? Has there been any complaint filed? Has there been any FIR? Has there been any defamation suit? Has anyone been convicted for that?
Defamation suit has to be filed by you. If you think that any defamatory statement has been made by the BJP leaders, has the Congress done that?
See, there is a difference between how the Bharatiya Janata Party functions and how we function. We would not make an issue out of, such things because we know that development work, employment, Medicare, education, these kind of things matter. We won't want to waste our time with such things, but the Bharatiya Janata Party clearly wanted to divert the attention from the Adani issue, because they know it for a fact that Mr. Gandhi has been asking a lot of questions, been demanding an Adani probe. They haven't been able to answer any questions. Therefore, they do political vendetta. Number two, they ask, the Congress party that you should give up your membership, or he'll be suspended, etc. I can show you videos and audios of the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders uttering such words. Would they give up their own membership? Would they suspend their leaders from party membership and their MLA-ship or MP-ship for having uttered those words? Number two, is action only meant for the opposition parties?
Okay. So you are essentially... No. The question is that this is a court order. Should it be seen as process of law? But you are saying that this is vendetta. I'm trying to understand now from the BJP before I bring in Hitesh Jain. Hitesh, BJP first. Aprajita, will the BJP now move in for immediate disqualification? And is the BJP going to move the Speaker's office? And will it happen in the next 24 hours?
See, we look at the Constitution of India and the functioning of the courts with highest respect. And I think Constitution of India and the law of the land are supreme. And we would definitely examine the legality of the whole matter, so just wait and watch. This is one part. But I can definitely say that reckless, puerile, immature, irresponsible, these are the words that come to our mind when we think of Rahul Gandhi and his statements. And at this juncture, to say that there is vendetta is absolutely ridiculous, I would say. See, this particular case emerged out of his reckless behavior in 2019 when he said all Modis are thieves. Now, 4 years have passed and this Surat court has actually given the judgment today. Now the issue is, this is a considered decision. All the facts of the matter have been taken into consideration, into account, and then this judgment has been pronounced. And I can say with all conviction at my command that Rahul Gandhi and his advocate have been given enough time to put forth all his defense. So I think to say that it is vendetta is not right. We have to respect the law of the land, and law will take its course. So let's see how it goes.
Okay.
I think the legality of the matter, the disqualification part and other things are being examined.
Okay. Before I go back to Ashpreet, I will bring in the other two panelists as well. And Hitesh, here speaking to you as a lawyer, I want to understand from you, as Vikas Singh was saying, that never before has it happened that a defamation order has been pronounced with a 2-year conviction. And so it's a rare case, certainly. More so, I want to understand what next for Rahul Gandhi, because he certainly stands at a risk of being disqualified from Parliament following his conviction. What happens in a criminal defamation case of this nature?
Maria, when Vikas Singh says that never before such precedent has happened, but never before a leader of a stature of Rahul Gandhi, who was projected as the candidate for the Prime Minister, has made such kind of a statement. The statement made by Rahul Gandhi is neither irresponsible, neither careless, but it is a statement that was made blinded with the hate, and it was a deliberate false statement made with the intention to harm the reputation of the person. So if you look at purely defamation as a law, Rahul Gandhi was a member of Parliament then. He is responsible enough to understand the consequences of the law. And therefore, he should have been. He should have been more responsible in making such kind of a statement.
No, but if he wants to make a deliberate false statement, again, the point here is most experts of law, and you are a lawyer yourself, are of the opinion that a 2-year sentence in criminal defamation case under Section 499 of the Indian Penal Code, under which Mr. Gandhi has been convicted, is extremely rare.
Now, I will answer the question straight away. Recently, Supreme Court was dealing with the case pertaining to hate speech, and particularly with the statements made by the politicians. And the Supreme Court, when it comes to the political leaders, said they owe a larger duty of care, they owe a larger responsibility, they owe a larger burden. So if you will look at the languages, if you will look at the directions given by the Supreme Court and the guidance given by the Supreme Court, I'm not surprised that he has been convicted for 2 years, because a person who has been projected as a prime minister should have been very careful and should have understood the consequences of the statement. But he is a habitually, at that time, in terms, he had to seek an apology from the Supreme Court in the case of Rafale. And here also, he has made, and therefore I'm not qualifying the statement as irresponsible or careless, but these are purely statements made deliberately with the intention to harm the
whatever
reputation
he said in the context of Rafale, we saw what happened in the court judgment.
He had to apologize. He could have apologized today also. He had to, if he would have apologized, maybe, his lawyers should have advised him. But then that is for his lawyers to advise. Pawan Khera's case, the lawyer was the first person, Dr. Sikri, apologized before the Supreme Court. So the Congress party cannot claim, on one hand, you make a reckless statement, you make a false statement to defame a person, and then you are claiming that there has been an injustice that has been done to Rahul Gandhi.
Because it is about poor political discourse.
I beg your pardon, sorry?
Poor political discourse. I think the party leader has to be more responsible. And if there have been series of events in which he has apologized to the courts, then it is also about him not realizing that his statements are defamatory in nature.
Thank you. See, you asked me a question before also, Maria, in the first segment, when you said that why did the Congress party not file any defamation suits if such words were uttered against you? Well, you made a very valid point there. If some statement has been made against somebody which is demeaning, defaming, that person has the right to be the complainant and has the locus standi to be in the court. Now, did Mr. Purnesh Modi have the locus standi in the first place? Was it referring to Mr. Purnesh Modi ji even in the first place? Number two, you see, the matter is sub judice. However, we are taking the liberty to talk about this. So give me just a minute. I want to say something. One, the sentence has already been suspended. Let's not leave that point out. Number two, we shall be appealing this. There is the district court after this. Then there is the High Court. Then there is the Supreme Court. Then there is the curative petition. Then there is the review petition. Then there is the mercy petition. And then there is a review petition again to that. So it is not the final thing. It is not done and dusted with. There is a lot to happen after this.
Okay, so
Number two, last point. 95% of the cases that are registered in India by ED CBI are against opposition. The conviction rate of the ED is 0.5%, 0.05%, I beg your pardon. In our time, the total rates that ED had under UPA were 112. Under the Bharatiya Janata Party, it is 3,000 plus.
But so this is not an order or any summon from the ED and CBI. It's an order of the court. My question is the Congress party then questioning the due process of law?
Did we? Have I? Please check all my statements. Nothing has been said against the court. It's only against the Bharatiya Janata Party. And as far as the ED and CBI example is concerned, I'm not just talking about this one case of Mr. Gandhi. I'm talking about the overall conduct of the Bharatiya Janata Party as to how they act against the opposition parties vis-a-vis political vendetta.
Okay.
And number two, to divert the attention from the real issues. For example, Mr. Adani's issue. For example, the probe that we have been demanding. For example,
Mr. Rajagopalan, the fact is that the entire political class is responsible for lowering the standard of political discourse. It's not just one political party or one leader.
Maria, politics is about defaming the other person. Politics is about defaming the other political party, whether it is BJP or Congress. Congress did it during its UPA regime. Apart from that, Maria, you and me covered parliament for ages. And my understanding is there are two defamation cases. One is by the Surat court. Another is by Mr. Nishikant Dubey before the Speaker of Lok Sabha. And before the Speaker of Lok Sabha, there is a privilege notice also. And privilege committee sees to the matter. Apart from that, my understanding is there is no Adani, there is no Modani, there is no Rahul Gandhi. It is all political. Another 1 year's time, there is going to be an election. And whether he is disqualified or not, it is going to be a political issue. It's not a legal issue. Congress leaders, Congress advocates who appeared for Mr. Rahul Gandhi in Surat court, they took it very lightly and they thought that Rahul Gandhi can do it in London and Cambridge. He can get away with that.
Okay.
But at
so
district
you
court,
are essentially saying that
poorest
this.
to the poor.
So Ashpreet, did the Congress take this case lightly?
Well, it's not about taking it lightly or in some other way. It's just that, like I told you, the sentence has already been suspended. There are people who are leaving this very statement out in order to mislead the people of India. Well, if there was a decision in the favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party or Mr. Punnesh Modi, then there is a decision in our favor as well. It has already been suspended and we shall be appealing it. We shall try to go against it and have the verdict overturned in the district court. This is the order of the magistrate. Number two, the Bharatiya Janata Party hasn't answered one question of mine. What about the statements which are demeaning given by your leaders? What action has been taken against them?
But the action has to be taken, initiated by you all to ensure that there is an action against them. But before that, no. I also want to understand from Mr. Rajagopalan. Mr. Rajagopalan, will it lead to opposition unity?
I don't think so.
Unimaginable moves have been made by various opposition parties today. Post the order.
Maria, I don't think so. Rahul Gandhi is not taken seriously by Sharad Pawar. Today he is having the meeting as we speak. There is a meeting going on at Sharad Pawar's house. If he was serious, Rahul Gandhi should have attended. All the regional parties, especially DMK, KCR, JDU, Aam Aadmi Party, all
but Akhilesh Yadav supported him. That was unusual. The Aam Aadmi Party supported him. Unusual again.
Maria, they take Rahul Gandhi very lightly, and they say the Congress is an extra luggage for the regional parties. Therefore, I don't think it's going to be a opposition unity. Only for the parliament's sake they may do it. Once they come out of the parliament, they
but Mr. Rajagopalan, at the airport, DMK supporters were present as well. So, I mean, are we, discounting what it could lead to?
That is immaterial. Adani is also in connection in a lot of projects in Tamil Nadu. Therefore, DMK is not taking seriously Adani. The only Congress party is stalling the house, not TMC, not JDU. Even Ashok Gehlot is closely monitoring Adani projects in Rajasthan. Therefore, opposition unity cannot be done with Rahul Gandhi daily getting TRP.
Okay.
That is different. Even DMK is considering, JDU is considering, Aam Aadmi Party is considering to give single seat to Rahul Gandhi Congress. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ashpreet.
Not in
before I bring in Ashpreet, Aparajita, one thing is clear that the BJP also wants 2024 to be a match between, because we are increasingly seeing a presidential form of election. So 2024, the BJP is best, as part of its strategy, it appears that it also wants it to be Rahul Gandhi versus Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So the question is, if Rahul Gandhi is disqualified, who will be your political opponent? वो सवाल उठेगा.
See, this statement, whatever you said now, is being made by many people that BJP is engineering this entire thing so that Rahul Gandhi is the opposition, one and the only opposition, and it's easy for Prime Minister Modi to win 2024. Now here, let me be very clear. We don't have to do anything. Rahul Gandhi, if I can say, he is Bhasmasur. He is killing himself and he is killing the party by his actions. Please pardon me for using this particular word, but I think he is it. So I think Congress has to look within itself. Congress has to rectify the situation, and Congress has to tell its leader that he should behave in a certain manner. See, I'm also a member of parliament. He's a member of parliament from Wayanad. We should know what we say and do in public and what we should not say and do in public. It's very important to know the do's and don'ts.
Okay.
Probably he doesn't know.
Okay,
how does this entire brigade of Congress justify his behavior in London or in Cambridge?
Okay, Ashpreet,
or his behavior
will it
in 2019?
hurt the Congress, given the fact that the biggest face of your party is someone who was on a long Bharat Jodo Yatra recently? is convicted. You can't say the same for the BJP top brass.
Well, Maria, like I've already told you, it's a 2-year conviction, which has already been, the sentence has already been suspended.
Okay.
So let's put it.
Okay, so if it has been suspended, so since you're reiterating this, let me ask that to that question to Hitesh. Hitesh, if the sentence has been suspended, then why this hue and cry?
Well, that is the answer the Congress spokesperson has to answer, because they are raising the hue and cry. They are indulging into protest and all. So if the sentence is suspended, they should quietly sit at home and don't indulge into any protest. They are aware that mere suspension of sentence is not enough. He has to get a. If he has to be saved from the disqualification, the conviction has to be stayed. But Maria, there is also one larger point. I mean, of course, the courts will decide on the question of disqualification as an MP. But by making such statements and by repeatedly making such statements, Rahul Gandhi has disqualified himself from the public life. In the eyes of public, he has incurred the disqualification by repeatedly making statements like this. He has to apologize in front of the Supreme Court. He has to clarify that what he meant in London, he said in London was something, he means something different. So, I mean, he's a habitual offender who makes a deliberate statement. His only defense is, I am an entitled dynast, nobody can touch.
Okay, Mr. Rajagopalan, 30 seconds to you, and then I'll give the final word to Ashpreet.
Today in the in the Surat court, the Congress advocate has already said it is unintentional. So therefore, come halfway to the apology. Therefore, now full apology is expected. Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhi, who appeared for Rahul Gandhi in Supreme Court, he is also going to appear. He may with a draft with a letter of apology. So unless Mr. Rahul Gandhi apologizes to Surat court, things will not settle down. Even if they go to the High Court or Supreme Court or anywhere, review petition, curative petition, mercy petition, it's not going to take that much long, because
but
you
Mr.
are having 6 months away from
Politically speaking, here are the Congress workers who are certainly charged. And many of them are of the opinion that Rahul Gandhi perhaps should go to jail, and that will send a message of how he has been fighting, and perhaps the only one fighting against the narrative that he is trying to set against the BJP, which is of curbing free speech.
Then what happened to Bharat Jodo Yatra? So it goes negative. Bharat Jodo Yatra is aman, no nafrat. Bharat Jodo Yatra was only for peacemaking. So you are now creating a space that you are also an agitator. You are also a revengeful politician. So this contradiction is there between Bharat Jodo Yatra and going to Surat court.
Ashpreet, you can't really complain about statements from the BJP if you're not seeking legal action. The common man in India or anywhere in the world has to go to court to seek recourse. Why can't the Congress?
Answering your question, Maria, you say that we should have sought recourse in court. Now, the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders have been saying that Mr. Modi was defamed. But is the complainant Mr. Modi, Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India? He is not the complainant. The complainant is a Purnesh Modi, to whom this statement was not even referred to. Mr. Gandhi did not even know who he is or who he was. And therefore, he has been nevertheless, he has been the complainant. So, Maria, this logic of yours, would that not be implemented on the Bharatiya Janata Party? Would that only be implemented on the Congress Party? Number two, malicious intent, which is an integral part, of defamation. Where is that malicious intent for Mr. Purnesh Modi? And I do not understand how can the Bharatiya Janata Party go scot-free just because there's been no defamation suit filed does not mean there's been no other offence that has been committed. Many other offences under the IPC have been committed, and the police should have acted against those Bharatiya Janata Party leaders. And RPA has been amended by the BJP just in order to use that against the opposition parties, like the Bharatiya Janata Party always does. However, they will get a befitting reply for this in the court as well as in 2024 elections, and the world will watch.
All right. A quick word from you, Aprajita. The point being made here by Ashpreet is that the complainant here is not the Prime Minister against whom the statement was made, but someone else.
Congress is in a self-destructive mode. Congress doesn't have the ability, or rather the inclination, to look within itself and correct itself. Now, as far as this complaint is concerned, I must tell you that Purnesh Modi was the then Minister of Gujarat State Government. We should not forget that. And Purnesh Modi also has the surname of Modi. He said, Rahul Gandhi said, it seems as though all Modis are thieves. What does it mean? What does it imply? Doesn't it hit Purnesh Modi? And why won't he go to the court? So I think he has actually chosen a particular surname and hit everybody who has that surname, as simple as that.
All right. Thank you so much
So
for
I
your
think,
time.
see, this is the 7th case in which he has bail. Yeah.
Okay.
Maria, 1 second.
There was no malicious intent towards Mr. Purnesh Modi. The main ingredient, malicious intent, was not there, is not there. Please read the definition of it.
Maria.
This is the 7th defamation case in which he has got bail, right? Right from December 2015, don't forget the National Herald case. He is on bail. And 6th July 2019, again, this particular case, Sushil Modi went to Patna court. Here also he is on bail.
So
Sushil Modi...
So does being on bail
Modi
mean
also has the
All right,
surname of
I've really
Modi.
come to the end of this
Maria,
discussion.
1 second,
Vikas Singh,
Maria.
Aprajita Sarangi, Advocate Ashpreet Kadial, Rajagopalan and Hitesh Jain, really appreciate your time. Shifting focus to debate 2 now.